What's happening, everyone? I am Count Jinsolo. Welcome to another Pokemon Go video. Now before we get started, I really need you to hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that little bell as well so you stay up to date on all of the Pokemon Go content that I'm going to be uploading into my channel. It's 2019, so there's a whole bunch of stuff related to Pokemon Go that we need to cover, so make sure you're subscribed to my channel and you have that little bell so you get notifications for when I upload. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. So, Niantic recently tweeted out that they're going to be having a Feebas community day of sorts. Now, it's not necessarily going to be a community day, but it's going to be similar in that it's going to kind of resemble the Squirtle community day, in that we're going to be doing research and being awarded Feebas for all of these research tasks. I really want to talk about this because honestly, I think it's just an amazing announcement, and it's a great sign of things to come for 2019 that Niantic is completely on the right track. Seriously, when I saw this announcement, I was pretty much like, now, why is this such a big deal? Well, specifically when it comes to Community Day and all the cool stuff that they did in 2018, I would like for them to innovate on that and just continue it forward in 2019. So the Feebas Community Day is not going to be like any other Community Day. Well, technically it's not even a community day. Niantic is calling this the limited research event. So this could actually be the start of something new. Now, when we think about community day, when we think about these special raid days that we had, it was all a lot of really great content, and it kept the game just engaging. It kept the game relevant for a lot of the different Pokemon Go players. It was very rewarding. But yeah, I would like for them to continue innovating on that because Community Day is phenomenal. When it came to Community Day, the first one happened around this time, so it looks like maybe for this year in 2019, we're going to be having two different kinds of Community Day every month. At least that's what I'm hoping for. So when it comes to community days, it's going to be your typical community day event where you're going to go to a park for a 3-hour window or any other place that you typically go to farm Pokemon, and then you're going to be catching a specific Pokemon with a chance of a shiny and possibly an exclusive move. But when it comes to this whole Feebas research thing, it looks like it's the start of something fresh. It's the start of something new. It's possible that every month we're going to be getting a second event aside from Community Day where the awards are going to be awarded to you through research, and I really like that. I'm sure you have the information by now, but here's the gist of what this event is going to be. Basically, every Pokestop is going to give you a research task, and every single research task is going to award you Feebas, but this is only going to happen in a 3-hour period. And the 3-hour period is very similar to what you would expect out of a community day. So it's going to be between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. in UTC, so that's in Europe, and then of course with the Americas it's going to be between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and of course if you're in Asia Pacific it's going to happen a day later between 12 o'clock p.m. to 3 o'clock p.m. So adjust your hours accordingly, basically plan it out just like you would a typical community day, and it's going to be on January 19th, which is the Saturday directly after Totodile Community Day. So I wonder if this is actually going to be the trend. I just don't know. I don't know if it's going to be just specifically for Feebas because, well, for a lot of reasons this just makes sense for Feebas as opposed to having Feebas in a community day, and I'm going to be talking about that in a moment. But I really hope this is something that they explore doing every single month, especially because I really like the variety of it. I like the fact that aside from Community Day, they're thinking about different ways that players can be engaged with their communities. And I really like the idea of them utilizing some of the in-game mechanics that are currently in the game, like research, as the backbone for these events. Now, I mentioned that this makes complete sense for Feebas, and that is actually because of the way that Feebas evolves. Of course, you need to walk some distance as well as collect a bunch of candies in order to evolve Feebas. And to have Feebas as a community day like what you would expect for other 10-kilometer egg Pokemon, I just don't think it really makes sense to have it as a typical community day, mainly because with the special evolution requirements, unless you completely remove those requirements specifically for community day, it just doesn't make sense for Feebas to be part of a community day, because you're not going to be evolving a whole bunch of Feebas within the 3-hour window because of the requirements. I mean, I think with every community day I walk about 30 to 40 kilometers. And that means I would only be able to evolve like 1 or 2 Feebas during the entirety of the community day, which is a really bad idea considering the exclusive moves are only available for Pokemon that are evolved within a certain time period. So it just makes sense to have Feebas awarded as a research event without an exclusive move. I really like this idea, and I really like that they're distributing shinies in a very interesting and unique way. Shinies really are the big motivator for a lot of players to collect as many Pokemon as they possibly can. Of course, a lot of players are motivated by completing their Pokedex, but this is a non-issue for a lot of hardcore players. So of course, when it comes to shinies, this is kind of like their best way of flexing. And for Niantic to come out with different ways for you to get shinies aside from just being lucky, I really like that. And personally, I really hope they continue to develop these sort of interesting things, because I think it'll keep the game extremely interesting. Now, I really think this is a great thing for 2019, mainly because if you think about 2018, Niantic put all of their eggs in one basket. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, if you think about 2018 and all the features that were included in that year, I mean, pretty much the game is feature complete. If you think about it, there's really nothing to look forward to in 2019. We got trading, we got PvP, we got research, we got a whole bunch of legendaries and mythicals that people have been waiting for. I just don't see anything concrete that we could look forward to as players. Everything that we ever wanted in Pokemon Go is officially in the game. And of course, people will say, what about breeding? What about different legendaries? Well, yes, that stuff is pretty exciting, and I do look forward to that stuff as well, but they really won't have that big of an impact compared to stuff like PvP and trading and the way that they impacted the game. So Niantic really has to come up with different ways to keep the game interesting and keeping the game relevant. And I really think these special events is them doing just that. I really like the fact that they're trying to innovate and create different ways for players to engage with the game. I really like the fact that there's stuff like this in the books for Niantic, and they're continuously developing different things, because one of my biggest fears for 2018 is that they're not going to try anything different, that they're just going to repeat 2018 and just have community days and just have rating days and just leave it at that. I really wanted them to continue creating different and interesting stuff, and it looks like that's exactly what they are doing. So yeah, maybe I'm just overhyping this, maybe it's just something that really sticks out to me more than it sticks out to other players, but I got really excited about them announcing this whole event, even though it just came out of nowhere. I really like the fact that they're coming up with different things for us to do. And yes, it is just completing research. It's not necessarily going to be anything special or anything truly innovative, but I like the fact that they're creating these sort of limited time events with somewhat exclusive Pokemon. I mean, Shiny Feebas is definitely one that a lot of players want, and Shiny Milotic is absolutely stunning, and I can't wait to get my hands on one of those. So yeah, I really like the fact that they're doing this. I really hope they come up with some unique stuff, and I'm really looking forward to what comes next in 2019. It's really looking to be a very promising year. And something of note that I really should mention, there are plenty of other Pokemon that they could do this to, like for example, they could also do this for Meltan, they could also do this for Magikarp because of their crazy candy costs. But of course the shinies for Magikarp is already in the game, so it may not necessarily be as exciting. But I really would like to see them try different things like this. So maybe there could be a PvP event in the game, maybe there could be some kind of trade-a-thon, who knows. I would really like for them to continue innovating on this game, aside from just adding a whole bunch of new stuff that we may not necessarily find important. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, what you think about this Feebas community day. I think they're actually calling it limited research, which is an interesting title. Basically it's kind of like a community day, but yeah, it's gonna be all about research, and like I said, it just completely makes sense for Feebas. But yeah, let me know your thoughts regarding it. What are you looking forward to in 2019? Let me know in the comment section as well. And yeah, if you're not subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that little bell. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button. I am Count Jinsula, and I'll catch you all later.